There's no denying Gordon Ramsay is a celebrity chef world champion. This man has 7 Michelin stars, a BAFTA, and one of his many successful shows lasted an astounding 18 seasons. He was even inducted into the Culinary Hall of Fame in 2013. Most of the time, calling Ramsay a failure would be utter nonsense. Gordon Ramsay is a real person, not a cooking machine. This chef has created a few unpopular dishes, made a couple of blunders on camera, and made some pretty egregious errors. Ramsay is a person who, believe it or not, is completely capable of and has failed throughout his career. It is critical that we think critically about those who wield power. We should pay attention when they make mistakes. So without further ado, here are a few instances of Gordon Ramsay's failures. If you're a Hell's Kitchen fan, you might want to exhale before continuing. Gordon Ramsay has failed to save many people's restaurants. Gordon Ramsay attempts to save a failing restaurant in a single week on the show Kitchen Nightmares. These establishments frequently have poor management, out-of-date food, and lousy chefs. In one episode, Gordon discovers a pigeon and a dead lobster in the kitchen of a restaurant. Despite the fact that Gordon Ramsay faces these challenges, the majority of the episodes end on a positive note. In a 2012 episode about La Galleria, Ramsay renovates the restaurant and sends a great chef to work for a month there. When you watch this episode, you get the impression that this place could turn around. La Galleria closed in November of 2018. In fact, many of the restaurants that Gordon Ramsay tried to save have closed. According to Reality TV Revisited, as of May 2020, 79% of the restaurants Gordon visited had closed since their episodes aired. This means that only 22 spots are still available after the show's 7th and final season. While Ramsay did not save a large number of restaurants, the number that he did save is still impressive. The majority of these locations were train wrecks on the verge of collapsing. It's mind-boggling that even one of these places is still open, let alone 22. And who knows, maybe aspiring restaurateurs learned something from watching this drama-filled show. Many Gordon Ramsay restaurants have closed. Gordon Ramsay's first restaurant, Aubergine, opened in 1993 when he was the head chef. He's opened more than 50 other locations since then. However, 23 of these restaurants have since closed. Even Gordon Ramsay has admitted that he contributed to the failure of one of his restaurants. Gordon spoke with the Scotsman after the Glasgow-based Amaryllis closed in 2004. In this piece, he stated that his Michelin-starred restaurant was not too sophisticated for the Scottish area, but that it chose the wrong type of experience for its people. I'd relish the challenge to open up in Glasgow again, but I wouldn't do fine dining, not a 3 or 4 course dinner. We're setting the criteria too high, and that's my fault. Ramsay also stated in the same interview, it was just hemorrhaging money in the end. There comes a point where you have to put your own reputation aside and your personal feelings and think of business. So at the very least, in this instance, he was honest about why he had failed. Gordon Ramsay couldn't even make a good pad thai. Ramsay is a talented chef who can prepare a wide range of dishes. This guy could cook a mean steak, delicious gnocchi, and the chicken parmesan of the century. There are, however, some dishes that Gordon Ramsay cannot master, and according to Blue Elephant executive Chef Chang, he prepares a lamentable pad thai. Ramsay attempts to make pad thai for the monks at the Buddha Padipa temple on this show, the F Word. This cook takes place at the Blue Elephant under Chang's watchful eye. Ramsay has finished his dish after 1-minute montage. He then inquires about Chang's satisfaction with the meal. "I have to taste it first," Chang responds. After Chang finishes this quip, he takes a decent bite of the pad thai. "How is it?" asks Ramsay. Chang's face cringes. "This is not pad thai at all." Ramsay is shocked. "I think that doesn't taste too bad," he retorts. Chang then dunks on the celebrity chef by saying, "For you, but not for me." So the next time you burn your pad thai or otherwise fail to make it, remember you're not alone. There's even a chance that it'll be better than Gordon Ramsay's. Many Italians dislike Ramsay's carbonara. If you think Gordon Ramsay has only been roasted for making a bad pad thai, you're mistaken. Many Italians thought his version of carbonara was a colossal flop. Ramsay tweeted a video promoting his Union Street Cafe in February of this year. This video showed a person silently serving a plate of the restaurant's carbonara. This dish was extremely yellow and had a very wet consistency. This meal was described as amazing by Ramsay. Some of his supporters were unimpressed. Maurizio, the creator of Italian Food Boss, was one of the clip's harshest critiques. He tweeted, hilarious, what's this thing? I can't believe this guy is actually a chef." Another Italian user said, no. It just goes to show you that a chef should never fail at making a dish from Italy. The voice of their people will never be silenced. Gordon Ramsay had failed to get a Guinness World Record. Gordon Ramsay and his daughter Tilly Ramsay attempted to break the world record for cracking the most eggs into different cups on the F word. According to an official Guinness judge, they must have one hand behind their back. They also had to crack the eggs in turns. To make matters even more difficult, any glass containing shell was disqualified. Gordon and Tilly set out to crack more than 33 eggs in under a minute. When the timer went off, the Ramsays gave this challenge their all. The video clearly shows that they both gave this task their full attention. Gordon and Tilly, on the other hand, only cupped 31 eggs. Yes, they were only 2 cracks away from a victory. However, just because Ramsay did not achieve this Guinness World Record doesn't mean he has not achieved others. The chef received one for quickly filleting a fish and another for rolling the largest sheet of pasta while filming the F word. As a result, he has won more Guinness World Records than most people will in their lifetime, but he still failed at least once. The Gordon Ramsay restaurant once received a 2-star rating for hygiene. The Independent reported in 2015 that Gordon Ramsay's restaurant maze was infested with cockroaches. They said health inspectors found 7 of the insects in areas used to prep food and wash up. Because of these critters, the establishment received an acceptable 2-star hygiene rating. When you compare this article to the original reviews for the film, you can see how crushing a report like this can be. This restaurant was described as swanky and distinctive by Time Out in 2013. It's difficult to remember this praise after learning that creepy crawlies once lived in their kitchen. To respond to this splendor, the Ramsay brand hired a spokesperson named Jill Livingston. She stated, "We invest considerable time and resource in maintaining the highest possible food hygiene standards and have an excellent track record. In addition to our own in-house measures, we work with an independent auditor who regularly inspects all our restaurants." Jill also stated that this was an isolated incident. Gordon Ramsay also tricked a vegetarian into eating ham. Gordon Ramsay isn't always friendly towards vegetarians. In a 2005 episode of Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares, the chef hands out free pizza samples for an Italian restaurant called La Lanterna on the street. One bystander agrees to try a slice, but claims to be a vegetarian for the past 8 years. Gordon claims to have one he can eat. Ramsay reveals the truth as this volunteer finishes his meal. He says, "Unfortunately, that pizza has got a lot of mozzarella and tomatoes, but underneath all that there is a Parma ham." The bystander is irritated that he has been duped. Gordon makes a joke about his misfortune and offers him more pizza. The volunteer then walks away. "Good luck with the Vegemite," Ramsay exclaims to the departing man. Surprisingly, this video is not available on the official Kitchen Nightmares YouTube channel. You could call this a success for Ramsay because he did succeed in getting a non-meat eater to eat meat, but Gordon failed to be a decent human being when he played this prank. Barbara Ellen described this trick perfectly in a 2005 article for The Guardian. She said, "Ramsay has started doing the equivalent of shoving small boys' heads down toilets because that's what all this about, isn't it? Bullying." Thankfully, lying to a vegetarian about what's in their food is now considered disgusting by most of our society. And that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching. Do let us know your thoughts on this video in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, then do like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more such exciting content. See you in the next one.